Listen, man, they call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, cause anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans.
It's more like this. Don't always be a critic and be so negative. Let's be positive.
How happy are you with your performance tonight?
Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck. If you want to know what it feels like to get your ass kicked by a guy who weighs 40 pounds less than you, meet me in the octagon.
64, I kicked your ass.
Fight.
You gotta be prepared to lose your nuts.
What's good, listeners? Welcome back to the latest edition of Two to the Body. I'm one half of your tandem of hosts. One way Renzo, always kicking it with Money Mark. Money Mark, what is really good, son?
You. I figured I'd do like the New York thing because you just said, "What up, son?"
I
And you
mean,
never said
sometimes
son.
you got to, speaking of which, we had a conversation a while ago about being in Atlanta and the Georgia area and whether or not they still say what's happening.
What's happening?
I said they did.
What's happening?
You said they did.
Um,
I said I'm from Georgia. No, they ain't doing that. But Mark,
yeah.
I went to Maury. Maury hit me with that lie detector. I was wrong. It was a lie. They do it in Georgia. They still do it. Because I got hit with it 3 times after that conversation.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Definitely unfortunate. What's happening, cuz?
I heard T.I. say it, so I'm assuming,
Yeah, man.
T.I. is the king of the South, so, I figured you guys all do what he does,
Are he still a king?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I thought we gave up T.I. being king of the South when we realized he wasn't the South Jay-Z.
Oh, well. Well, you gonna tell T.I. that to his face?
Well, I would not tell T. You know what? I'm more comfortable saying.
Copping the please.
Oh, this is a cop play. This is copping the play.
Yeah.
I would be more likely to say something disrespectful to Cody Garbrandt in his face than T.I.
Well.
Cody Garbrandt is a professional fighter. He wouldn't do anything to me. T.I. tried to punch Floyd Mayweather, bro.
I think you do neither, sir. I think you do neither. Because you never know.
Wise words of the Keldrick Baldwin, circa 2003, on a bus on the way to football camp. You got me fucked up. Those that know me will know that story and know that what I just did, and you guys will love it. I appreciate you guys for letting me get that inside joke on.
Okay, I don't. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
In short, the context of it, that was
No. We don't.
I'm gonna say it anyway.
Oh,
okay. In context of the conversation, that was the day that people realized that the bully really isn't a bully. He's just weird. And if you react like that to him, oh boy, we're finna get all this off.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. We didn't really ask for that, but you gave it to us anyways. And
hey, man, that's what
I guess
we do it to the body. We give you things you're not asking for.
Nah, I guess that's what we're doing.
Give you things you're not asking for. That's
Sweet.
it, man. Speaking of things we're not asking for, who's up next for John Jones? Please don't let it be Israel Adesanya. Thor Santos,
Jimmy Crack Horn, I don't care.
Hey man, who would you care that John Jones fought at this point outside of Daniel Cormier?
I wonder if Luke will be a challenge for him. I wonder. Because essentially I look at Luke and I look at the challenges that Luke could present if his chin can hold up, being in that realm. And one of the things I noticed about Luke is Luke's a little longer. You know what I mean? He has a longer frame. I don't know if he's as tall as Anthony Smith or John, but, like I said, he has a little bit longer frame. And for some reason, I just feel like Luke is good enough to not be subdued by the oblique kick, that usually creates the space that John likes to have to be able to open up on you and start, hitting you with, 4 and 5 piece, combos. You know what I mean?
Word.
So I don't know. Maybe Luke. I'm interested to see if Yoel moves up. I think Yoel should move up so he doesn't fight Israel. And then, you know what I mean? I think Yoel is actually. I think Yoel at a heavier weight. I think Yoel is a problem. That's what I think.
You
But I
think
don't
Yoel
know.
Romero is a problem?
Yes. The Yoel Romero, because this is a problem with Yoel Romero. For whatever reason, he gets better every fight, and he
Okay.
old as shit. And as far as I think, the threat of his ground, the threat of his ground abilities will be enough to subdue. Like I don't know that Yoel would be essentially. I don't know if John Jones. I don't know if Yoel will best John Jones in a grappling match, right? Or we don't know, right? Because
Right.
John Jones might be a little bit more athletic. You know what I'm saying? John Jones, has gotten way better at his grappling over the years.
I
So who
mean, he
knows, right?
was. I mean, that's what he did for a while he was
Yeah.
suspended for those 2
Yeah,
years. He did a lot of
but I mean,
grappling terms.
but he's fighting guys like Dan Henderson, like whatever. But
Ah,
I'm just
it's
saying,
true. It's
I'm
true.
just saying, we don't know if Yoel Romero can necessarily um, can subdue John with his grappling, but Yoel's grappling is so decorated that it don't matter, and I think John would naturally not engage him in that, which will make it a striking bout. And I know that John is, of course, probably a more he's a better striker. He knows more about striking than Yoel possibly can. But Yoel, for whatever reason, I don't know. I just feel he might hit harder. So it's
I
just
mean,
interesting.
it is interesting. It's even interesting to me that you make the point that you just made because I would say that even though I recognize John Jones as this amazing striker, he doesn't have that knockout power. He has like the volume of
Yeah,
punches, the volume of elbows, the volume of kicks.
he hits you with that
Is
Max Holloway.
Yeah,
And his
it's to a
frame
point.
is so perfect for what he
Yeah.
does because he keeps you at a distance, which
However,
allows you to keep give you volume.
however, I recognize John Jones as a wrestler because that's what his background is. Like his
Uh,
background is in wrestling. So I would like to see someone try to force him to wrestle.
but this is the funny thing about Yoel, which is really weird. I've seen at least four Yoel Romero fights, and I've seen him wrestle none. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yoel don't wrestle for real. He threatens to take down, and then he explodes in your face. That's basically Yoel's game. He'll like
He's
reach,
so he's the opposite of Rashad Evans.
basically, yeah. He'll just like threaten to take down. Hey, and he'll like approach you. And average people in his weight division, they naturally acquiesce because they're like, "Oh shit, I'm not going to the ground with him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the ground with him at all." And then he just explodes. Like that flying knee he hit Chris Weidman with, how he beat up Jacare Souza, how he beat up Luke Rockhold, like he beat the brakes off Luke
Hold on.
Rockhold.
He fought Jacare Souza?
Yeah, that was like one of the first, one of his, like he fought that fight. That's
Oh,
the
so
fight that gave him the first
that fight was going to be a
Whitaker fight.
rematch.
Yeah, that was gonna be a rematch.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I need to go back and look up that fight.
yeah. Oh yeah, he beat him up.
Yeah.
He beat him up.
I need to
It
go back and
wasn't.
see
It was
that.
more. It wasn't super one sided, but he beat him up, if I recall. Beat him up.
One-sided enough to make you notice.
Yeah, I believe. Well, I believe he beat him up. Hold on. I think we have the internet. Use them internets, cuz.
Oh
Use
yeah,
them.
man. I'm tripping. I can definitely use these.
Yeah, use them internets, cuz. Let us
It's
know who won.
get to
Because
this
I remember there was a little bit of controversy. I remember there was
internet
controversy
device.
with that fight. I don't know if he didn't make weight or something. Some reason I
Oh,
remember.
that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, he didn't make weight for the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yoel did. Yoel had issues with weight.
Mm. I mean, well, yeah, he's built like
A
I don't know
Ninja
what's
Turtle.
going on. Yeah, I mean that's what everyone calls him, a Ninja Turtle. They just
Yeah.
refer
Well,
down to
well,
Ninja Turtle.
I'm just gonna call him Bebop or Rocksteady now. I'm just gonna
Savages,
keep. Matter of
savages.
fact, he's a Battletoad now.
Yeah,
Since everyone else is calling him something else, I'm gonna make him
yeah.
a Battletoad.
Well, whatever. amphibian-based like creature from our childhood. You know what I mean? Savages. That's
It's
that MMA world the little drop. Every time they say something about savages, they always play that clip of Yoel Romero saying savages on Joe Rogan's podcast. I think that was like one of the 10 words he was able to say in English. That
it's
is interesting. I wonder if that was like a situation of I know how to speak English, but I don't feel comfortable speaking English. Because there would be times where Joe would talk to him in English and he'd just respond before, Joey Diaz like even started translating. But
wow. Well, here we go. Yoel Romero definitely defeated. No, that's Ronaldo Souza. He didn't fight Jacare. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure you did fight Jacare. Is Jacare a nickname? Shit.
Let's see. We're gonna find out.
Let's look. Let me find out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's him. His name is Jacare. Is definitely his name. His name is Ronaldo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so he did. They fought UFC 194 and split decision 29-28, 27-29, and then 29-28.
If I recall, I don't remember that being split in my mind. I remember that being that dude got his ass whooped. Because honestly, I watched that fight.
It's a controversial split because of the way I just read off the
card
scorecards. 29-28, 29-28, and then you give the loser 27-29. So you say the loser won 3 rounds, and the other one says that the loser. Well, yeah, the other one says that the loser basically
got that ass whoop.
You got that ass whoop.
Got that ass whoop.
So
well, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's supposed to be a rematch. Jacare Souza was always one of those fighters that I never really understood the hype behind. But I am not a super duper jiu-jitsu enthusiast. Like, I respect jiu-jitsu and I understand what some of the depths of it, but I've seen too many times, kind of like when like the kickboxers come over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When the kickboxers come over, the super specialists come over, you get those highly out of all the guys, right? We think about it. Who are the long-term champions that are like super high level jiu-jitsu specialists?
Wow. Regular jiu-jitsu or BJJ?
Well, yeah, BJJ. Because I don't think anybody just does jiu-jitsu anymore. I think everyone kind of does BJJ at this point.
Okay, well, we need a hipster to come along and do it. Let's see.
Jiu-jitsu. Bring it back to the origins.
Yeah.
Shit. And while we at it, we might as well get a guy to do some judo.
Get some Jeet Kune Do too.
Yeah, man. And you don't know?
Homeboy will mess you up.
You don't know?
That's all I got for you. That's all I got.
You didn't even start. You didn't even start where you were supposed to start.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay.
Oh, that's all I got for you, man. Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
For those who know, they know. So we don't have to go into detail of what that was. But all right. So Damian Maia never won. There's that. Anthony Pettis. A lot of Anthony Pettis is. Anthony Pettis was a heavy jiu-jitsu guy, but he also trained with Duke Rufus. So there's that as well.
True.
So Duke Rufus, and I guess there's Ferguson.
Oh, wow.
Ferguson.
I just went to BJJHeroes.com. As of 2015, this is an old list. Top 15 jiu-jitsu fighters in MMA 4 years ago. You ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Do you remember Chris Holdsworth?
Yes. Didn't win shit. Go ahead.
Oh, bantamweight guy. Bibiano Fernandez.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan, who knows who that is, and
bantamweight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Benil Dariush.
All right, I've heard of him. Yeah,
Lightweight. Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall is very fucking good, and
Yep.
that dude is actually a specialist.
Gunnar
Um,
Nelson.
Gunnar Nelson. Yes, you see, like, go ahead, continue.
Gilbert Burns.
Okay,
Augusto Mendez.
okay,
Jessier Da Silva.
okay. I mean, we need to probably
Charles.
up to date. We need an up to date list, but go ahead.
Yeah, Charles de Oliveira.
I've heard of him.
Rafael dos Anjos.
Rafael was a champion,
Yeah.
but is his game primarily jujitsu? I think he has. Well, whatever. Like, go ahead.
Here we go. I'll read his blurb. The current lightweight champion, this is 2015.
Mm,
The current lightweight champion of the UFC has used all aspects of the MMA game to be where he is. There's no other way to succeed at the highest level. However, his jiu-jitsu has been his most
Catalyst.
valuable. You know.
Mm. Okay, I'm not familiar with Dos. Well, okay, I am familiar. I'm not familiar with that Dos Anjos. The Dos Anjos I'm familiar with is the Dos Anjos that got beat up by Robbie Lawler, Kamaru Usman, and so on and so forth.
True.
Yeah, the Dos Anjos that's supposed to fight Conor McGregor. I'm not super familiar with him, so I can't really give you all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you got the top five, and you're gonna recognize some of these names, obviously. Ruzimir Polaris is
I
number
heard of him.
5. Roger Gracie,
Okay.
Damian Maya, number 3.
Okay.
Number 2 is Ronaldo Sousa, Jacare.
Okay. So
And
once
number
again,
1 is Fabricio Verdun.
Fabrizio. Okay, there we go. Damn, we well that was 2015, but we got two champions. We got Dos Anjos and we got Verdun. And Verdun, I think you can legitimately say that Verdun used jiu-jitsu was his main thing, and that's what he used to win. So he and Verdun submitted Fedor, and
Yo.
he submitted Cain Velasquez, right? So he
We,
submitted two of the greatest heavyweights of all time. So
man. Did he submit, you said Cain Velasquez?
yeah, he won the champ. He won off that.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
believe he won. He won the belt off that because
I was gonna
he's
say
the reason
something.
why Verdum is the reason why Kane disappeared essentially. you
Oh,
Verdum was the one that kind of ended all that. He was like, all right, yeah, shut up. I forgot how he submitted him, but something about altitude as well. I think they went to Brazil, and there's a lot of people cop a lot of pleas for Kane in that regard. But yeah,
well, what's beef?
I don't remember the lyrics to the roast beef. I would have played along. I just don't remember.
Oh man, just when you need two cats to go to sleep, bro.
Yeah,
It's not no big deal.
beef is when
Just
I see you. Guaranteed to be in ICU.
one more time.
Yeah, what's beef?
Speaking,
All them bars made you choke.
there are definitely plenty of fights that could be made in either sort of direction. I know we started this conversation off in particular about saying who was out there for John Jones, and we basically just let John Jones rock with that. And we talked about Jacare and Yoel and all these other stuff, but there are other fighters. There are other things going on. There's a lot going on in the UFC right now.
Sure is.
There's a lot going on in the UFC
So
right
you want to
now.
start with Dillashank, or you want to go with
Hey man,
Israel, or do you want to go with Max, or do you want to go with Dos Santos? Do you want to
say
go
this.
with Ngannou? I think before we get in the deep end, I'd like to mention that Ngannou is going to fight Junior Dos Santos, and I'm just saying, if he knocks out Junior Dos Santos, there's literally no one left.
Nah, except for Brock Lesnar, Stipe.
Bam Bam Tuivasa.
Yeah, well, okay, cool. It's not too many people left. It's not too many people left.
I'm just saying, like at this point, he knocks out Junior Dos Santos. At that point, you gotta go, all right, well, he's here. Like, we talked all that shit. Maybe we need to run them UFC commercials again. At that point, you can't say nothing. Because the funny thing about Dana is that Dana seems like he's one of those salty cats. Like he gets real salty. Like if you put the promotion behind you, it's not that if he puts the promotion behind you, you fail. If he puts the promotion behind you and you totally just like shit the bed, oh yeah, he's done. He's done. He done forgot about you. Blah 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 blah. And then you got people like Stipe Miocic who have to go make Modelo commercials to promote himself because the UFC acts like he's not there. In fact, it's funny. The two fighters that I feel get ignored the most that shouldn't be are working with Modelo.
Oh
Stipe
man.
Miocic,
So you
and Dustin Poirier. Because
wow.
I'm just being honest with you. I noticed during the fight. I'm gonna go back to Ngannou, but I noticed during the fight press conference when they're talking to Dana White about how Dustin Poirier beat one of the greatest fighters ever, right? Handed him, right? All Dana would say is, "Oh yeah, I got something in a couple of months that's gonna blow your mind." Hey, how about you talk about the guy that just beat Max Holloway?
Nah, he's
Because
definitely not gonna.
I don't think everybody in that division can really do that to Max Holloway.
Nah, not everybody in the division, but Dustin Poirier probably definitely can.
But I mean, this is the thing
He
because
cut from you know what I'm saying, he's obviously cut from a different cloth. Like I believe what they're saying. I believe that he can give Khabib a run for the money for the simple fact that he has some stand up in him. He has some
well, I mean,
wrestling and some stand up in him. He might be able to get back up.
yeah, and then of course he submitted Max when they first fought, so he has submission skills. He has a lot of other different things. This is the only problem I have with him versus Khabib. I just don't know. This is the thing about Conor, right? This is the thing about Conor. And I don't know if Conor was a situation where maybe he hasn't fought in a while and maybe he was a little whatever. But Conor needed to strike first and impose his will. And he did
Yeah.
not. And he let my man's walk him down. And to be honest with you, that's the only fight we've ever seen Conor allow someone to walk him down.
Yeah.
Usually once you enter into the danger zone with Conor, Conor's lighting you up. That's just how it works. That's how Conor's beat everybody. Like if you think about it, the only person that, other than Khabib, that was able to get him down, I forgot, it's a Team Alpha Male guy. I forgot his name. Let me look him up real quick. But there's only been only two people that have been able to essentially enter into Conor's space and get a successful takedown. And the other guy got knocked out. He got knocked out at the end. So,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, man.
What day?
So, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. So, I mean, I guess if Dustin could essentially operate the same, use the same tactics and just not, shit the bed like, Conor did.
Yeah, because he did.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
He did.
I honestly, I'm biased because I am a Conor fan. But one of the things I would say is that he definitely was different. Can we agree on that?
Yeah,
He definitely was different.
You can tell.
Chad Mendes. It was Chad Mendes. Chad Mendes got, I think, two or three successful takedowns. And at the end, I think in the third round, kind of just stood up and said, all right, you didn't do anything. Let me knock you the fuck out. And he just knocked him out. And that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, even though Nate Diaz won the first and did very well in the second, it was the same thing. It was just the consequences. Like every time you step into my space, I'm going to light your ass up.
Deservingly so. Because that's how this works out here.
So, like I said, if Dustin can do that, then yeah, Khabib is in trouble. But back to Ngannou, I just want to say with Ngannou, I just want all the haters that I've argued with on Facebook and all the other social media platforms to give Ngannou his props. You don't have to tell me I told you so. You just have to do a post that says, hey, you know what? Stipe was just great, and Ngannou's now overrated.
Well, you can say Stipe is great, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that takes away from Ngannou. I'm blaming Ngannou for how he trained and where he trained.
Oh, you didn't think the UFC PI was a good enough facility to get him to the right to where he needed to be?
Yeah, I think it was a perfect facility to get you beat up by Rocky.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's no
Yeah,
different than what they did for
Drago,
Drago. Yeah, ain't no
Drago,
different.
Drago,
Like, come on,
Ivan
man. You just got all
Drago.
this state of the art stuff, and this nigga out here just chopping wood.
Man, shit, beat the
You know what I'm
brakes
saying?
off of him.
He this nigga out here equally yoked without his wife. You know what I'm saying? This nigga pulling oxen and shit.
You know, honestly, that is actually a very good comparison. That is exactly the epitome of because that's if you look at it, Francis Ngannou would be the Ivan Drago, the foreign terror with
Yeah,
power for days, and he's just punching people, and people's faces are exploding, and he beats Alistair Overeem and all these other
low
random
key,
fighters, and then
low
all of a
key.
sudden, blue collar Clevelander. You know what I'm saying? It can't be like he can't be from like New York or a big city. He has to be from somewhere
Yeah,
smaller, like a
yeah.
hometown hero
It's got
firefighter
it's got to be
goes,
a Cowboy Cerrone type figure.
yeah, goes and trains with the guys he grew up with and just beats the living shit out of Ngannou. That's definitely Rocky 4.
Yeah,
You're right. That's Rocky 4.
that's all that
Well,
shit was. Cause Ngannou took some great pictures, and that's all Dana White was talking about when he talking. Oh, we got Ngannou here. He's doing this. He's doing that. All he's doing is working out really good. He ain't really working on that fight. He ain't really training for the fight. He's just working out really good.
that's the thing. Like, I just don't understand like how like it seems funny because like it seems like they placed their bets on Ngannou because I think they thought that Ngannou was going to beat Stipe, and I
They
guess they
don't
were
like
trying to.
Stipe. They was hoping.
Yeah, but I think they were also trying to promote the PI because it's like the new PI is a new thing, and they were just like, all right, cool, we got the PI, so we're just gonna promote. Ngannou's probably gonna knock Stipe out, so he knocked out Alistair Overeem pretty easily, so yeah, we'll just promote it like that, blah 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 blah. But my whole thing about it is this: is that it makes no sense after the fight. Like after the fight, they're like, not after that fight, but after the Derek Lewis fight. Like, oh yeah, that guy's head and blah 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 blah, and he needs to do this. And I heard he didn't even run. I heard he didn't even train. Okay, Mr. White, that's cool. What about those pictures you took?
Yeah,
Because you told us that motherfucker was getting in optimal shape.
you told me. I'm saying like you had me arguing with a dude I never met before on Facebook.
And then
Like,
all of a sudden he goes back to France, knocks out Curtis Blaze,
yeah,
knocks out King Velasquez.
yeah. Like he knocks out Curtis Blades. Got Curtis Blades over here refusing. Like Curtis Blades would never say to Ngannou, "Buy big titty."
Nah, not at all. Well, probably because Ngannou don't have titties. I mean, but I mean,
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'm just saying nothing on no disrespect for shit like that.
no. In fact, he's even like, at first he was talking shit, but now he's kind of like, he legit. Yeah, I know you legit. He knocked you out again.
Yeah, he got me. Yeah, we
So
ran
I'm
that back,
saying,
but he got me.
if Ngannou knocks out JDS, uh, I think they either rematch Stipe, which I don't think Stipe wants that. I don't think Stipe wants that, or he deserves a title shot, which they're not gonna do because what they're gonna do because Dana White has pretty much established what's going to happen with Cormier. Cormier is going to fight Stipe. He's going to fight Brock Lesnar. He's going to fight John Jones. That is what they're pushing for him to do. I think they're going to push for Stipe first. And if DC beats Stipe again and Ngannou knocks out JDS, they're just going to have Ngannou just there. Because they're not going to make Cormier fight Ngannou and possibly fuck up the John Jones pay-per-view that they're trying to do at heavyweight.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
You definitely don't need him playing with the money.
Hey, you think John Jones is gonna stay heavyweight if he wins against Cormier?
Nah, I wouldn't say him standing at heavyweight. It would be in the need.
Hell,
Really,
motherfucking nah. He
it would be
better
in the need
not,
to.
or he gonna be in y'all must have forgot territory. John Jones moving up to heavyweight, I feel is gonna be we're gonna see is gonna be a deja vu of Roy Jones Jr. If he moves up to heavyweight, I feel
Deja vu, you say?
deja vu,
Okay.
deja
So you
vu.
think he gonna win the first one and then that's when he
Yeah,
gonna start losing his career.
Yeah, bruh. You too
You're gonna beat
young.
you're gonna beat John Ruiz, and then after that, it's a wrap.
I'm telling you, dude. I just don't like the matchups for him. I know, like Joe Rogan and everybody's trying to push him to heavyweight, but I just don't like the matchups. Like this narrative that he's just gonna beat up every heavyweight, to me, just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
look at the way John Jones is his makeup, and I just match him against not even guys in the top 10. Like I don't think John Jones fares well against Alistair Overeem. I just don't think he does. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter what anybody says about Alistair Overeem, he's a better striker than John is. He's a better striker than John is. Like we can talk about whatever, but and he hits hard. He hits very hard. He's a better striker. I just don't like John's chances against Alistair Overeem. I don't really like John's chances against someone like Ngannou, to be very honest with you. He's a wild card, and he's faster than a lot of people think he is. So I don't like his chances then, and I really don't like his chances against Stipe. I'm gonna be
Oh
honest with you.
man.
I don't like his chances against Stipe. Like, yo, we gotta get. This is the thing about Stipe. Like, I understand that Dana White feels how he feels about Stipe, but let's be clear. Stipe doesn't beat up everybody. Everybody that the UFC said was good, Stipe beat the shit out of them, except for
It's
Daniel
true.
Cormier. Beat up everybody. Who you got? Who you put in front of him? He beat the shit out of all of them, and he knocked all of them out. He called Verdum. He called Verdum mid like jumping lunge, knocked him out. Caught a leg kick from Alistair Overeem and just walked up on him and was like, all right, time to go to sleep. Knocked him out. Um, like who else? Who else do Stipe? I mean, you gotta think about it. Like I think when we sit here and we argue about who's the greatest heavyweight, I think we have to think about the fact that who Stipe beat. Like a lot of those dudes that Kane was beating, you know what I'm saying? No offense. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And yeah, I think he fought JDS, and I think he lost the first one, or he won the first one against JDS. Do you remember? You still there, little fella? Ew.
Hold on. Excuse me, boy.
Technical
Yeah.
difficulties.
Actually,
Technical.
that was my throat there. That was something caught in my throat there. This it's almost I got mid
Oh,
bug.
oh man, we almost
But
lost our co-host. I almost lost my
yeah.
co-host.
Yeah, but we off in this thing. we off
Yeah,
in,
well, hopefully we'll punch that. It'll be a
yo,
punch. It
as a
shall be a
matter of fact,
punch.
it's funny as hell, man. It reminded me of you ever seen that video years ago? The black dude was talking on the news and a bug.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just had that moment with myself
Oh
just now.
shit! Oh, he lost against JDS the
Yeah,
first time. He lost
yeah,
against JDS the first time. He got knocked out.
yeah. He
Shit.
definitely lost against JDS the first time.
And he won by unanimous decision. Like I mean, I'm just saying. Like he lost to Fabricio Verdum. He beat Travis Brown. Antonio Silva. I don't remember him. He beat Brock Lesnar. He beat Nogueira. He beat Ben
Minimum.
Rothwell. He beat Chet Congo. Yeah, bruh. All right, so these are people. So I just named the people that Cain Velasquez just beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just look up Stipe Miocic.
Basically the same names, ain't it?
Nah, okay, let's pull it up before I just say. Francis Ngannou beat Junior Dos Santos, beat Alistair Overeem, beat Fabricio Verdum, beat Andre Arlovsky, beat Mark Hunt, beat Fabio Maldonado. He did lose to Junior Dos Santos the first time.
The first time, yeah.
Beat Gabriel Gonzaga, beat Roy Nelson, lost to Stefan Struve. Um,
Yeah, that was a crazy one right there.
so 14-4. And I would argue, in my personal opinion, Stipe has beat way better fighters.
Yeah, that Stefan Struve loss is questionable, but that dude's he's a 7-footer.
Beat Roy Nelson. beat Gabriel Gonzaga. I don't remember Maldonado. Lost to Junior, beat him, beat Marquant, beat Arlovsky, beat Alistair. Like, like that's the thing. Like Kane has never fought anybody like Alistair. This is my thing. Like he's never fought anybody like Alistair. So
Well,
it's
really,
kind of like.
first time he fights someone like Ngannou, he loses.
So I mean, I'm not taking away from Kane. Kane is still a great champion, and he's probably one of the greatest champions ever. But I just don't see how we can put him over Stipe. Stipe done beat everybody, and he beat a lot of those dudes. While they were still like ferocious. Like you think about it,
Yeah,
like he beat Alistair on Alistair's comeback. Alistair came back looking crazy.
he
You
did
know, he got used to not being on
because he left looking
steroids.
crazy.
Yeah, but he got used to not being on steroids. You know what I mean? Got
Yeah,
used to his body not on steroids. Probably his hormones leveled out. Walked around, started rocking cats. All right, here you go. Get out of here.
he definitely came back as a beast, yo.
So that's all I'm saying. But anyways, that's that. I just don't like John. So because of that, I just said all that to say that I don't like John's chances against Stipe. I don't think that's a walk away with Stipe. I think John's best chances at heavyweight is against Daniel Cormier, and we still don't know how that is against Daniel Cormier because Daniel Cormier is heavier. And me and you've openly agreed that Daniel Cormier might be a different story. I mean, Daniel Cormier looks different as heavyweight, as a heavyweight. He just looks different. You know what I mean? So that's all I gotta say about that. I don't know if you have any counters or whatever
Well,
you'd like to say.
I don't have any counter, so to speak. I will say, like I always believe, I believe that that DC will give John Jones trouble at heavyweight, but I believe that John Jones wins again. But the other heavyweight fights, I think, are bad matchups for the other fighters. I think John Jones will run through that division. It's a lot less tougher than light heavyweight division.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Who the fuck else is at light heavyweight?
Well, we got people like
Samir?
you got Anthony Smith. You got
All right, bro. All
you
right, bro.
got
Let's move
you
on to the
got
next topic. Let's move on to the next
Alexander
topic. Let's move on to the next
Gustafsson.
topic. I know what you're doing. Like, let's
Yeah.
just move on to the next fucking topic. And we're not doing that. We're not gonna do that. We're just not gonna do that. I get it. All right,
Yeah,
bro.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
we don't need
there's
to do all that. We don't
no
need to
one
do
in
none
that
of that.
division. There's no one to fight. He gotta go up to heavyweight because there's no one else.
I'm telling you, Renzo, it's not gonna be pretty. I just don't think it is.
Hey,
There are gonna be some serious
I'm
wars.
well. This is gonna be a nice transition because I'm tired of him at this point, trying to take away the shine or revel in the moment with Israel Adesanya after he became this global international star over the past weekend.
I think he's getting along. I think there's multiple things. Me and you talked about this beforehand, and I agree with a lot of the points you say. Like, of course, Israel's a new cool kid, and like Israel said on I forgot the Flagrant podcast, whatever podcast that is. Yeah, he's a cool new freshman, and John Jones has issues with that. I believe that is as well, but I don't think John was ever accepted by Dana as well as Israel has. Like Israel, fortunately for him, all Israel's interests fall in line with Dana's interests.
Mm.
Like Israel wants to be active. He wants to fight. Like this all happened in 1 year. So, like a lot of people do the whole 2 fights in the title shot, but Israel had at least 4 or 5 fights. He's won them all, and they're all this year, right? I know people like Jacare Souza are probably salty,
Yeah.
but no one cares about Jacare. Not to play. I'm not gonna say that because one day I want to go to Brazil. No, I'll just say that I know some people like Chris Weidman, Jacare Souza are probably a little salty, but at the end of the day, it's like, guys, you give him the Derek Brunson text, he beats Derek Brunson, right? Paulo Costa keeps having issues. I don't know what's going on with Yoel. Like, I don't know what's going on with Yoel. And Jacare is very iffy. And a lot of the guys that Jacare beat, like, I'm sorry, you beat Chris Weidman. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, at this point, Everyone beats Chris Weidman, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Chris Weidman has been a non-factor for quite some time.
Luke Rockhold, since Luke Rockhold.
Say it again.
That was Luke Rockhold was a fight that kind of exposed, and he was doing good in the fight. To be honest with you, I mean, I was cheering against Chris Weidman because
Because
even
it's Chris
though
Weidman.
it just I didn't like the narrative. Like the American flag guys that come out with the American flag, and it's just like, and this is my thing against America or the flag. It's just those guys in fighting have always been a particular character. I've always
Yeah.
been a particular character, and I just want anybody who may have offense to me talking about someone coming out in the American flag. I want you to go watch every single martial art movie ever made. The dude with the American flag, anything, is usually has the mullet, is a douchebag, and is the villain of the movie. Rather it be American-made action martial arts or whatever, he's usually the douchebag. Just saying, put it out there.
Hey
Just
man,
saying.
I'm not gonna come out there on that ledge with you, but I'm not gonna disagree with you.
All I'm saying is this: he came out a certain way, and it was just like he beat Anderson, and he beat him twice. But it was kind of like one of the things where it's kind of like, all right, those victories are victories, and you have those victories. I will never take those victories away from you. But like, hey, I beat Anderson, keep it moving, right? That's it. That's all you gotta do. I beat Anderson, keep it moving. But he talked shit afterwards. He talked shit.
Because he wanted that clout. Like we're
Yeah.
lucky. We're lucky that he didn't go the Tyson Fury route. Tyson Fury really went on that cocaine binge when people didn't care that he beat Anderson Silva. I
Tyson Fury,
mean,
you mean
Anderson Silva when he
Klitschko. Klitschko.
when yeah, people didn't care that he beat Klitschko.
But everybody was waiting for Klitschko to be beat. That's all that shit was.
But
That's all that was.
it's how he beat Klitschko. It was unexciting. It was uneventful, and only people that like boxing, like myself and my older brother, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, basically. Like, I'm better. I'm better at moving than you are. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
so and I'm saying with
absolutely.
Chris, honestly, had Chris just disappeared, legend,
Yeah,
legend. But the
yeah,
thing about it is this: he talks shit. If Chris didn't say anything, he'd be straight.
I
Chris
agree.
talks shit, and then they brought. And this is the funny thing about Dana. This is what I always like about Dana. Is that this is what Dana will do. Dana will build you up and let you get your shit off. And be like, yeah, man, this guy is awesome. And then you go, okay, cool. So check this out. I got this guy right here that I'm pretty sure is better than you. Let's see how you look. He'll bring him
Yeah,
over. And then it's like, oh shit. Oh, you're not that good. That is right there is the integrity that the UFC has. Everyone knows that Dana wants to know what's up. Like I think he has
true.
like a personal interest of like, okay, I want to know what's up. So he'll bring over somebody, which would was that somebody was Luke Rockhold. He lost. Then all right, well fight Yoel Romero, which is like a death sentence. Lost.
I mean, but he did it the entire time with Demetrius Johnson till he got up out of the paint.
Well, yeah, but Demetrius essentially was better than everybody. He was
Yeah,
better than everybody. At that time, they were looking for people. But anyways, as regards to John Jones and whatchamacallit, I don't know how we got where we at. As
yeah,
regards to
man.
John Jones and Israel, I feel that Israel, I think John is salty at the fact that Israel essentially seems to be making all the right moves,
Yeah,
and he has the favor of Dana White. Dana White is very impressed with Israel, but
I have a I
Israel,
have,
go ahead.
I have a bit of a curveball to throw at you as far as this relationship is concerned. The
Yeah,
John Jones um Israel relationship. Part of it to me is John Jones being jealous of my man. And the reason why I use the word jealous is like who we know John Jones to be is not who John Jones portrayed himself to be in the beginning. Feel me?
yeah,
And there is something to say about Israel Adesanya who came up from the gate being exactly who he said he was. You know what I'm saying? Being that person. I believe that
now
that right.
he called himself the style bender.
Yeah.
He comes out, he can dance. He can dance. He makes pop references to hip hop and anime. He just has more sauce than he does. He comes out with the cool clothes, and
Way
it's
more
all
sauce.
genuine. All
He got,
genuine. Even his t-shirts are
he,
cooler. Even his
bro,
t-shirts. You saw his last t-shirt?
bro. The Broken Nation tattoo. That's got to be his thing because he's repping that tattoo and repping the clothes, and I
I'm just
like
saying.
it. I love the
I'm just.
fact that he loves Africa. Like it's just so much.
There's
It's
too
so much.
many things that he
Yeah, that's what
has
I'm
that
saying.
make him cooler. That John, like, so I think the shirt he wore to the weigh-ins, right? It was like his shirt, not
Yeah,
sponsored by the UFC. Like it has him like shooting a fireball at somebody else. Like I mean, he's doing like so. It's all these things he's doing, and then you know what it is that like all these other media outlets outside of the UFC are embracing him. Like he's
yeah.
going on the Brilliant Idiots. He's going on. Um, I think the Flagrant podcast. These other people are starting to pick up on him, and he has his hip hop influence, and he's continuously talking in that situation. It's kind of like it's interesting. I just think that you're right. I feel that he's getting accepted in arenas and lanes that John hasn't.
And
To be honest,
would have if he would have been honest about who he was in the beginning.
yeah, yeah. I think John really tried to push the Christian angle, and me myself. I mean, it's not anybody's business, but me myself, I am as well. But when you're like, yeah, I'm this and that, and then you start getting popped for shit, it's like honestly, I think honestly, the reason why people like John is because at the time there was, what I mean? Well, no, people like John because John is a great fighter. First
Yeah,
of all, let me say that people like John because John is a great fighter. Number one. But I mean, there was a time period where at least the black community liked John because we had
he's black.
nobody else. We had nobody else.
He's black.
You know what I mean? Anderson can't speak English. I mean, we could try
Yeah,
to say Anderson's black, but that man barely speaks English, so we know he's not African American. Rashad Evans lost.
yeah. He lost to John. So
We don't have Rampage anymore, and he's beating the shit out of all these wrestlers.
yeah,
So
man.
it's like, all right, well, John Jones.
You homie.
I'd get arguments with John Jones with people who know nothing about mixed martial arts.
But they know John Jones, man, and that's important.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And now all that fanfare is starting to because John has been gone on and off for so long. All that fanfare is now starting to slowly transition to a new person, and I do believe a lot of that is going to Israel Adesanya.
Rightfully.
So I mean, yeah, that I think that's what's going on, and I think John is kind of dealing with that.
Now that was a legit technical difficulty there.
Just come back and rightfully so. Just say rightfully so. And I'll go watch you on and edit it in.
All right, gotcha. Well, rightfully so that attention is going to Israel Adesanya because he's doing things the way that he wanted to do, not the way it was designed for him to do, the way it was suggested for him to do, or anything like that. The way, and I can't believe I'm saying this about John Jones, but I'm part of the media, so I need to take my media bias off for a second.
Yeah.
Part of that thing that's detrimental to John Jones is the fact that if you look at back who he portrayed himself as in the beginning, and then see who he has become or see who he is right now at this point, then you start to sort of piece together that, oh man, bro, you never was that person for real, were you? Like they've
Nah.
always known that you were suspect as far as your behavior as a person, that they saw fit to try to remodel you or reshape you into something that you aren't. Or even not something that you aren't, because I don't want to say he's not a Christian. This is something that a facade you can't keep up. Like Kanye would say.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
this is
see
what I'll
how
say with
people
John.
reach a fake ass facade that they can't keep up.
I don't know if that was the UFC's doing.
I'm talking about his team. I ain't even talking about the UFC.
Yeah, and I think that more so might be his parents. Because I mean, we don't know how his family life is, but it seems like
They were assholes.
Oh,
They
okay.
had to
I didn't
be.
know.
They had to
Well,
be. And that's an assumption. That's not something that I know, but I'm saying
oh,
they had
okay,
to
I'm
be
gonna say like
assholes.
I guess you know
Cause
them cats. Damn.
his
Shit, what they did to you, cuz?
bro,
What they did to
his
you, cuz?
one of his brothers got popped for PEDs in the NFL. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey man.
maybe he was trying to recover, but if you got popped and your brother got popped, then come on, man.
Hey man. Hey man. But so while we have some more time, let's just talk about the last main event.
All right.
So
Which main event for the first time in a while? That's not an understatement.
well, no, I think the last. What was the last one? I don't remember the last one. Ew, maybe it
Uh,
wasn't good.
it was John Jones.
It was John
John
Jones
Jones,
and
Anthony
who fought
Smith.
after that? And who fought before?
Before John Jones and Anthony Smith,
Was
was it
that
women?
Kane? Was that Kane and Ganu?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we got that, and then we had, of course, no, that was
Oh yeah,
Usman Woodley. So honestly speaking, the John Jones fight was boring, but we knew it was gonna be boring. It wasn't necessarily boring. It was nice seeing John Jones like get in his bag and like beat the shit out of somebody. I think
yeah.
John Jones hit that Anthony Smith with a combination that was crazy. But I mean, I think the last couple of main event pay per view cards have been very good, in my personal opinion. Which is my personal opinion. And moving forward, moving forward, I'm just thinking, this main event, these main events of the last card actually kept up with the same theme that's kind of going on. I kind of want to start with, I kind of want to get Poirier Holloway out the way
Okay,
because I think we can get through that pretty quickly. Not to say that it wasn't a good fight, great ass fight. I love Max Holloway, me personally.
everyone, everyone loves Max Holloway.
Well, Max Holloway, because Max Holloway is good.
He's
That's why everyone loves him.
he's fucking
But
blessed. He's a
yeah, he's
genuine
blessed.
person. That's what people like about him, bro.
Yeah, he seems that way. He seems
Yeah,
very very
like the
positive,
man,
very whatever.
the man after he lost, like a couple days later, the man dropped the video and say he was big mad. Like I like stuff like that.
Yeah, he gave Dustin Poirier his gloves from the fight.
Yeah, man.
Like as like, hey man, commemorate this. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
man.
So I think that's interesting. Funny thing about Max Holloway, a recent clip just came out of Max Holloway after TJ Dillashaw situation happened. I don't know if you saw it, but
No, I haven't
uh,
yet.
it was in reference to his reaction to TJ Dillashaw, and he brought up something that TJ Dillashaw stated, and just like a good YouTube content provider does, they went and found the clip that he was talking about, and it was a clip of TJ Dillashaw saying that he eventually wants to move up, and he think he can beat up Max Holloway. And he was talking about Max Holloway is good, but he's slow. He called him slow. And it's funny. He's like, it's ironic he was talking all that shit, blah blah blah. Now where he at? He would have had a sad awakening had he moved up, which I do
Man,
believe. Like I think Rogan and Brandon Shaw brought up a very good point. The fact that Max Holloway at 145 looks unbeatable.
yeah. Max Holloway 155, not so much, because he can't knock those dudes out like that. You know what I'm saying? He
What
doesn't
I
have
think
that.
it's just I think Max it's just gonna take some adjustment for Max to get to
Yeah, I mean,
155.
like that's the
I
thing
think
right
he's
there.
gonna I think he needs a couple more fights. I think they put him in a championship bout. I don't think that works for everybody like that. I
Yeah.
think you need a tune-up fight. I think he should have fought maybe like not Al Quinta because Al Quinta will fuck around and accidentally beat the shit out of him. Maybe like someone like Barboza. You know Barboza?
Uh,
Because the
yeah,
thing about Barboza, he strikes hard, but I feel like Barboza is not the type. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like that's a more even fight. Had Pettis stuck around, maybe him
what
and
about
Pettis.
Gagey?
No, absolutely not.
But
Absolutely not.
Gagey said he had 5 more wars in him before he retired. Him and Max
Yeah,
Holloway would definitely be one of those 5.
yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now your first fight at 155. Dustin Poirier should have been his first fight at 155. Maybe Kevin Lee. Maybe he would have beat Kevin Lee.
Oh, man. Hey,
Fucking Kevin Lee.
everybody else doing it. Might as well.
Yeah, shit. That was the joke. Yeah, got it. Great minds think alike. I like Kevin Lee, by the way. I love Kevin Lee, by the way. I hope he beats Dos Anjos. But
Yeah,
everyone
man.
is
You
beating Kevin Lee's
you
ass.
like Kevin Lee like I like Cody Garbrandt. I'm still get these jokes off.
I like Cody Garbrandt too.
What
He's just a
I
dog.
love Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I don't
Because
know
he keeps
why
it real.
either.
He keeps it
I,
real.
I
He
don't know
keeps
if
it
it's
trill.
no, it's because he was really I saw it in his eyes. He was really gonna try Conor McGregor that time on a
No,
tough.
he was. He was.
Like I really appreciated that.
What you
Like
actually understand about Cody, though. Go ahead.
ain't nobody else sticking up for this man, but you gonna do it. I respect you, and you own the show. You'll be around for a while.
What I'll give Cody Garbrandt is this: is that with Cody Garbrandt's that young kid that absorbed all that information, absorbed all the whatever, absorbed all the thinking and the philosophy or whatever the case may be. So you grow up in that environment. It's like, yeah, we team alpha male. So like, what'd you say? What'd you say?
You
Like,
talking about us?
I'm gonna let Uriah kind of handle his thing. Oh, okay. So you want someone to do something? Oh yeah, well, hey my G, I'll do something.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll do something. What's good?
We'll
I'll do
fight.
something. We in the same division. We in the same weight division. I'll do something.
Let's go right
So,
here. That's back before
um,
kind of really made the money because you can tell by the haircut that he had that he wasn't really he was
yeah,
on that
making that
route,
money.
but he wasn't ready.
What I like about Cody is really the way he fights.
Yeah,
Like when Cody's winning, he fights very well. It's very exciting. He'll start dancing. I think he did one thing where
that pop lock.
against yeah, I think he did one thing against Dillashaw where I think Dillashaw went for a kick and he just like completely moved around it. And then like Dillashaw didn't know where he was at. And then he like stepped back and pointed at the ground where he was.
Yep.
And I was like, hey man, this looks like might be a different fight. And then of course he gets knocked out. I think Cody Garbrandt's issue is
He got
he
knocked
gets
out
too
by
emotional.
he got knocked out by the EPO.
He got too emotional. He gets too
Yeah.
emotional.
I mean, we that last fight, I'll never forgive him for that last shot I was witness.
He's like, you know what, fuck it,
bro.
let's punch.
Like,
But
bro,
he's like, oh
you
yeah, I
was
know he's gonna do that. That's what he
bro,
does. He just gets emotional.
whole square, bro.
Yeah, hold square. Hold square.
Whole
Hold back.
square,
Hold the
bro.
back. Hold the back button, bro. Hold the
Yeah,
back button.
man.
Hold the back button.
You got no business out here punching with these guys, man.
So, so shouts out to Justin Poirier because I've always felt Justin Poirier was Dustin. Justin. I always felt Dustin Poirier was a good fighter. So he got a shot. I don't know how he's gonna do against a Khabib.
Hopefully great, man.
Um,
Hopefully
I
great.
think I think Khabib may end up going down as being one of the greatest people in that division and just being that. I honestly I look at the talent that they're trying to bring up for him, and I just don't really know how they do it.
Well, there's a thing, which further lets you know that it was probably on purpose that they just bypassed Khabib like that and gave that fight to Eddie Alvarez.
Who? Connor?
Yeah. Think about that for a second.
He was out, but I'm not gonna sit here and then totally say you're not right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out, but I'm not gonna say that you're not right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. They're having a hard time finding fights for him right now. This could have happened 2 years ago, and they wouldn't be where they are as a company had this happened 2 years ago.
You're probably right.
In my opinion, like, the UFC wouldn't be as big as it was had Conor McGregor not fought Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, you're right.
You give that title shot to my man Khabib, he wins, and you lose a talker, because we've seen how Conor McGregor reacts to losing to someone like Khabib already. So you do that earlier on in his career, you don't get the Floyd fight or anything.
Okay. Well,
so in a way, I mean, I can't sit here and say, oh, it was absolutely calculated. That's what I'm drawing from it, that it was at least thought about. Oh, he can't tell. This guy's Irish. He's a talker.
He's Irish. That's what did it. He's Irish.
He's Irish. He's a talker. Like, think about it. The fighting Irish. Come on, bro. You can sell that shit in America all day.
Yeah, you can't sell a fighting Irish. Um. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's what. So I mean, that I guess that's what essentially is happening. We'll see what happens with Khabib and Dustin. Honestly feel that if Khabib beats Ferguson, no one's beating him. You might as well
Nah,
retire.
yeah, no one's beating him
Ferguson,
until Kevin Lee
Ferguson's
gets
only.
ready.
Ferguson's only. No, this is what I'm gonna say to you. This is what I'm gonna say to you. Well, no, he's
That was
moved
a
up
joke.
because Khabib won final. Actually, I think Kevin Lee has a set of skills that actually might match up well against him.
Yeah, man.
It's about matchups, bro. Al
We
Quinta had his number. Like he just had his number.
and we all
He
believe
beat
these things in
he beat
Kevin Lee.
Barbosa. He beat Barbosa.
Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, a lot
so
of
it
people
could
be
be.
beating. So did Justin Gagey.
So I guess in the age too. Um, so yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. But that was a great fight. I was super excited. I was super into it. I kind of wanted Max to win, but he didn't. But Max stuck around, so I feel Max might have some more in him at 155. I think everyone's trying to get him to go to 145.
Yeah.
Let's get to Israel Adesanya before I get out of here.
All right, man.
Um,
Israel Adesanya versus Kevin Gastelum for
so
the interim
honestly,
title.
honestly, didn't think this fight was gonna be that close. I thought Kevin Gastelum struck me as a Kevin Lee-esque fighter. The way you
That
think
makes
of Kevin
sense.
Lee, that's the way I thought of Kevin Gastelum. So I just didn't think it's funny they both Kevin, but I just didn't think that Kevin
One
Gastelum
has an
had.
L, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, I just didn't think Kevin Gastelum really had the skills necessary to contain with him. I think he would try to utilize his grappling, but I think what I'll say with Kevin Gastelum is two things. Number one, way better striker than I realized he was. Is number one. Number two, way better team than I realized
True.
that I thought he had. Because what they understood, I think his team fully understood, is that hey, he frustrates wrestlers for whatever reason. Whatever's going on over there in New Zealand, he knows how to stuff a takedown, and he does it very fucking well. Like I think if you look at um, Israel's or Adesanye's or how style benders, whatever you want to call them, if you look at his takedowns or times where he gets pushed against the fence, he like with perfect form gets himself out of those situations. I think his team understood, like, yo, we're not going to frustrate ourselves. We're not going to Daniel Cormier ourselves and just go for a takedown the entire time while this guy just picks us apart. Hell no,
True.
we ain't going to do that. This is what we're going to do. He's not going to expect you to strike with him. You're a way better striker than anybody realizes. This is what you're going to do. Let's see if he can take that power. He's fought nobody. He hasn't fought anybody in the division that has the power that you have. So
Not
touch him
one.
up a bit. And honestly, Kevin, he got up in his shit. I mean,
It's that
like
first
Israel,
punch.
yeah, dog. And the thing about Israel is that the one gap I think that fight showed about Israel is that Israel is not a volume striker. Israel is really
He's
about
a,
precision.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's raw about precision and hitting you precisely, and that gives cats like Kevin Gastelum who are explosive the ability to jump in your shit and hit you before you get a chance to start utilizing your head movement.
That's
And
true.
Kevin Gastelum, I think they felt like Kevin Gastelum was strong enough that before Israel can really start picking up his timing, he probably would have knocked him out.
I mean, that's basically almost what just happened. That's almost what happened.
I
Well,
think they go ahead.
there was a part in the fight where I didn't understand him going for the takedown. Like he hadn't been going for many takedowns at that point. He had Israel hurt on the feet.
Maybe he was
Then he went
tired.
for a takedown.
Maybe he was tired. Maybe he wanted to finish it. Maybe he wanted
Oh,
to finish it. And honestly, that's a safe bet if you think about it. Because look, this is the deal. Israel,
he was
Israel
finished on
is
his feet though.
yeah, but this is what you got to think about it though. Israel is one of those random strike motherfuckers. So
Okay.
you fuck around and get Israel like hurt, and then he'll fuck around and hit you with a spinning elbow, which he got hit with clean as fuck. By the way, I've not seen a spinning elbow that clean ever in the UFC. Like that man timed that shit like whoop, bop, right to the face. So if you're looking, if you're fighting an individual like that, you got him hurt on the feet, you're trying to close in. Like he right against the cage. No, let's put him down. Let's put him because this is what it seems stupid because Gastelum didn't do it. Had Gastelum like got him on the ground, Israel would have been done, and he probably would have knocked him out. He would have finished him.
Yeah. I was just of the school of thought that thinks that he was out, and had you not tried to take him down, you
He
probably
probably
would
would
have
have knocked
ended
him
the
out.
fight
Yeah,
because you gave him a rest period.
basically. But you know
Yeah.
what? But you know what I think Kevin was probably thinking in that situation. Kevin was probably thinking like, shit, okay,
That motherfucker didn't fall.
yeah, and I really don't know. He might do some other shit. He's not really kicking me like that for real, and I don't really want to give him the opportunity to start opening up because when you get wobbled, some people just get desperate and they just start going for the fences. We've seen a whole
True.
bunch of fights when people try to come in for the kill. I saw one when I forgot the name of the name of the fighters where one guy basically hit the other fighter with a body shot. Oh, the other fighter's about to go down. Before he hits the ground, jumps up, overhand right, knocks him out, and then falls down. That's the fight. That's the
That's it.
fight. And
That's
that
it.
and that happens. And you're dealing with a dude who knows stuff about striking that, Gaslam probably hasn't even begun to start learning yet. He probably doesn't know he needs to start learning yet. So you're dealing with like a specialist like that. Like, yeah, motherfucker, we're gonna take you down. You wobbled, okay, you softened up, I'm gonna take you down. I don't disagree with him doing that. I just think that it just didn't work because Israel was a little bit more realer than, we thought he'd be.
Well, they both were, I guess.
Definitely, because Gaslam didn't go down.
They both were. Not at all,
Gaslam didn't
man.
go down at all. And I just look at that and I go, okay, well, that's
I didn't know my man was Mexican until the homie told me.
who? You didn't know Kevin Gaslam was Mexican, really?
Nah, I did not know that Kevin Gastelum was Mexican.
I just assumed. Hopefully
And
that wasn't racist.
I mean, I didn't think it was I didn't think it was Mexican. It could be part of the same racist tree if you think about it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm not thinking. I wasn't thinking he was Mexican for the reasons you were probably thinking he was Mexican. You probably thought he looked Mexican. I didn't think he looked Mexican. But I never questioned Cain
that
Velasquez.
that and the fact that I know something told me he was Mexican because I knew he wasn't Brazilian.
I knew he was Brazilian, but his name was Kelvin Gastelum. I just didn't see.
Yeah, fair point, Seth. Fair point.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't see it.
Well,
I didn't see it. And I said, I didn't know until that man after the fight said, "Give it up for the Mexicano." I wanted to knock out the Mexicano, but they're tough. I was like, "Oh, he's Mexican."
yeah.
Oh, that explains everything. That's why he's still alive.
Honestly, yeah, that does explain it. I think it's funny because I think Israel kind of knew because he said something about it. It's like, he has a Mexican style. It's real cool. It's kind of like, but it's like a smart Mexican style. Like he doesn't just brawl. So I have to prepare for that.
It's like Canelo.
Well, Canelo at this point, I think his style has transcended the typical stereotypes of Mexican.
I mean, it had to
boxing.
Because he was young enough to be able to learn and bounce back from that Floyd Mayweather loss.
Yeah, and I think Floyd introduced him to a new world. I think that Floyd Mayweather fight showed Canelo like, yo, oh no, this is different out here. And that shit I was doing over here, no, that ain't gonna work over here. That ain't gonna ever work over here. He probably never wanted to have that. I think that loss made him never want to experience that ever again. I think that's why he's as good as he is now.
He's still trying to run that back too.
Yeah. You know what? Mayweather may do it, but I doubt it because Canelo might fuck around and be able to beat him right now. I don't think so.
Not, man. Yeah. Mayweather better not run it back with Canelo, man. Canelo a man now.
Yeah, he looks real good. I mean, he looks real good.
Fought homie, he was a boy. If you won't fight Earl Spence, you better not fight goddamn Manny Pacquiao. I mean, not Manny Pacquiao, but um, his name just leaves me. Um,
Mayweather.
nah, the guy we were just the other boxer we were just talking about. If you won't fight Canelo, I mean, if you won't fight
Earl
Errol
Spence,
Spence,
you
you
shouldn't.
better
You
not
better
fight
not fight
Canelo.
Canelo.
Because that Errol Spence Canelo, like Mexican boxing fans are already talking about Spence Canelo because they're trying to get that. Uh, they lost to their other best Mexican loss to Errol Spence. So
Oh,
the
Mikey
community trying
Garcia.
to, yeah, the
Mikey
community
Garcia.
trying to get that L back.
I don't know, man. That might be. I watched that actually. I watched that.
Yeah,
I'm mad I missed the Mikey Garcia Earl Spence fight in general.
yeah,
I'm mad
it
I
was,
missed. Oh, and we should also. So shouts out to that. I think. Well, let's just wrap up Adesanya Gaslam. Adesanya Gaslam, great fight. Probably one of the best fights I've seen. Full of drama. I think Israel is gonna. I'm very interested to see Israel versus Whitaker. I like Whitaker essentially.
yeah,
I'm interested to see the build up because now they're already starting to build up. It's like the very nice guy versus like the shit talker, and
the
it
new
doesn't make
guy.
sense. It doesn't really make sense because like Whitaker's kind of like, hey, he's really good. I just said he had some holes in his game, and
Yeah,
Israel's like, shut the fuck up, and it's just like, well, dude, I mean, yeah, I think you're good. I think you're awesome. I just don't think you're as good as you think you are. And it's like
yeah,
this weird dynamic going on, but they don't need to build up for that fight because those guys are both New Zealanders,
yeah.
and they're gonna have to deal. Yeah, I think that is gonna be a big enough fight as is. Um,
What
TJ
should that fight
Dillashaw,
be?
it's gonna be probably Australia. I think it's gonna be in Sydney. To be honest with you,
Mm.
it makes sense. Probably have the biggest arena. You probably have the biggest arena out there in Sydney, and people will go out to see it. Why not Sydney? It makes sense. TJ Dillashaw, piss hot. I think at this point we're late, so everyone knows. Apparently, Nowinski said uh, that he didn't test for EPO during the Cody Garbrandt fight, so there's that. But
Yep.
I don't understand the logic of taking EPO for Henry Cejudo, but not for Cody Garbrandt.
Oh, weight
But
cut, bro.
probably so the weight cut, and I don't know enough about EPO because I'm
It
still a
what's
fat
it called?
guy.
It's a recovery and a stamina booster.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
So
So
yeah,
that's what happened with that. I just want to do a quick. I bring some awareness to the fact that your boy, you're not your boy, your your girl, Clarissa Shields,
yeah, yeah.
just beat. I forgot her first name. The Hammer,
Christina.
Christina Hammer,
Yep.
and I think solidified herself or is trying to solidify. She's definitely on a mission to solidify herself as the
Woman of all
greatest,
time.
yeah, the greatest female boxer of all time.
Yeah, she.
I looked at Christina Hammer, and I just looked at her mannerisms and her shit talk, and I was like, yeah, she's gonna lose. She's gonna
Yeah,
lose.
and that she
I don't.
did.
I don't think that. I don't think Clarissa was. I don't think Clarissa was playing with her.
Nah, she never was during the interview processes and all that stuff. She was never playing, and that's what Christina Hammer has been doing. Like she's been a pretty good boxer, but she's been able to stay behind that jab and just have a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2
Mm.
for her entire career. The fact that Clarissa was able to get underneath that jab and then do triple jabs, quadruple jabs of her own, basically took Christina out of the fight after round one. It's arguable that you can give Christina the first round, but after that, it was a shutout. One thing that I noticed about that fight is that since the women only do 2 minute rounds or whatnot, that you get less knockouts that way.
Mm.
Less knockouts. So she should have been done by round number 8. Christina Hammer. She was out
Mm.
on her feet, but the dang bell saved her. But Clarissa, that black woman right there can fight. She's a real champion.
Yeah,
A real
she is.
champion.
She definitely is, and I'm interested to see how much. Like, I don't know really what's left for. Like, what else? What would she have to do to solidify herself?
Well, there's
as
one more. There's one more fighter she needs to lose about 6 to 10 more pounds to fight at 154 to fight this lady named Cecilia Brackets, who is the other best boxer in the world right now. This is a black lady, African descent from Norway, fights out of Norway.
mm,
She's a 154 undisputed champion. So if she was able to go down in weight and fight her and beat her, she would solidify herself as the greatest female boxer of the whole time. Not only did she clear out a division that she was in, but she went up some divisions to clear it out, and she'll go down to divisions to clear out.
T-Rex.
T-Rex, man.
T-Rex.
She be eating these goods, bro.
Yeah, honestly, I keep it funky with you. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really have anything for her.
And this is her under new management. This is her under John David Jackson, former trainer of Kovalev. Like, he is teaching her how to sit down on her punches. Because before, she punched a lot with her front knuckles or whatnot. Because she was just worried about, getting those points in because she comes from an amateur background. Now he's got her actually sitting on her punches. So, like, you getting a lot of pop and all kind of sounds and stuff now when she swings.
Yeah. Very interesting. I'm interested. I'm interested to see her continual path on as she continues to fight. And yeah, man, that's what I got. Do you have anything else that you want to speak on, good
Nah,
fella?
man. Nah, man. You actually ended with what I want to end it with. Carissa Shields. I want to make sure I give her just due, man, and give her flowers while she can still smell them.
Yep.
I fell in love watching that fight. I fell in love in the build-up of the fight, and I really fell in love while watching the fight because, like, you don't get to see that often. She is probably the most decorated boxer on the earth right now. She is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and she's a unified champion. Her and Lomachenko have done great things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Vasily won, right?
Yeah, he would, but it didn't matter because he was fighting Anthony Crolla.
I forgot you don't like Vasily. You know, like it's not. Wait, hold on. Let me say this. It's not that you don't like Vasily. You just are waiting to see Vasily prove himself.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see them paint themselves into a corner as to where they can't choose the best fight to make.
Oh well, I mean that's what all these guys do, and then they get in that point where it's like, now you have to move up, or that's what all these guys do. So yeah, I mean you're right. I'm interested in seeing that too as well. Um, you know, um, yeah, like you said, I'm very interested in seeing how that goes. Whenever he gets to that point where he has to, of course, fight someone who is actually probably can beat the shit out of him.
True.
But Vasily is still actually one of my favorite fighters right now. So
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you I don't be watching the high tech highlights. As a matter of fact, I got this punching dummy. I might do some high tech highlights as soon as I finish with my outside duties.
yeah, you go ahead and finish that. Finish that.
Yeah,
Them chores, girl.
I'm
Finish them
definitely
chores.
definitely, you know what I'm saying, gonna bake some cookies since you
Yeah, bake
just
them
said finish
cookies.
them chores, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might take my shoes off and get pregnant. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know about all that, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know
man.
about all that,
That's
bro.
all,
That
man.
sounds a little sexist, bro. That
Shit,
sounds a little toxic. That sounds like a
left
lot of
like
toxic
a.
masculinity, bro.
Oh, we're losing our edge.
Yeah, I guess. Don't bite off of other podcasts, bro.
That's
It's
it. We're
not cool,
losing our
bro.
edge. I'm not biting other podcasts. I'm just pointing out that podcast means more to me than I thought it would because
Yeah.
I actually like those guys together.
Yeah, man. Hopefully they start liking us together. But that's
Man.
all I got. I don't know if you want to wrap up or close out or whatever the case may be.
Nah, we're gonna
I don't
wrap
really
this thing up.
have.
Go
I
ahead.
don't think I have any new music. I don't think.
Well,
It's been a slow
I,
music, right?
I get something to go out there and check out. Go out there and check out Beyonce's Homecoming, live album released alongside the Netflix documentary.
Okay.
Beyonce has new music. Check that out. Well,
I was
actually,
not expecting that. All right, go
check
ahead.
out that Anderson .Paak album, Ventura. That's a
Okay.
great album to listen to if you guys like Anderson .Paak.
Okay.
I really enjoy his music, a hell of a lot.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
Jeezy has new music on the way.
What
That's
else?
important to those in the South.
Okay.
I heard Gucci Mane on the track.
Gucci Mane. Oh shit, that's actually a big deal.
Yeah,
I didn't even pay attention to what you said until you said Gucci
yeah.
Mane on the track.
Gucci Mane should be on the track, man. This Jeezy, so that should be a
Yeah.
pretty big deal, man.
Oh,
Everybody's growing.
oh. Just so you know, I think they did the face off for Cassidy versus Goods. So you
Yes,
know,
I have been waiting for this.
well, no, it's on the internet right now, and I need you to watch it so we can talk about it next time we
Oh,
record.
so the battle is already done.
No, the battle isn't done. This is the face off. They're doing
That's what
face
I'm
offs
saying.
now.
Like, it's like I've been waiting for that one. I wonder
Yeah,
what
I
made
just
Cassidy choose Goods.
because he thinks he can beat Goods. He feels
Oh,
Goods the
okay.
easy target.
Speaking of battle rap, Tech Nine, did you hear the rumors about him after his passing?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's
Sad.
worth enough to go ahead and end that if you did.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really. I hate to say it, I never really was a Tech Nine fan for real.
Nah.
But yeah, that's sad. That's unfortunate. Um, but yeah, definitely check out that face off. Cassidy says some very funny things. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. Cassidy definitely picked Goods because he thought he'd beat him. Because like even if it was Hitman Holler, I think Cassidy would have a problem.
Okay.
So I just think yeah, yeah, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it then.
All right then. Well, sign us off.
All right, man. Well, you guys have made it through yet another edition of Two to the Body. This is me, Lorenzo, aka One Way Renzo, signing off for this beautiful day, and hopefully we'll come to you with more MMA, hip hop, and boxing news real soon. Money Mark, are you ready to let the people go?
Peace.
Peace.